My source tonight is Trump's former national security advisor, Ambassador John Bolton. Ambassador, the president clear today on who started this war, but he does often switch back and forth on that. He ended this post with interesting times ahead. I wonder if that's foreboding, you think? How are you reading this comment?
Well, I think that's a statement of his position as of this afternoon and this evening. We'll see what happens next. But I'm delighted with the substance of what the president said there. There's no question but that for the time before he took office, the Biden administration tried to limit both weapons systems and supplies to Ukraine and limit their strategy to hit targets inside Russia. Which is to say, it's bad if Russia invades Ukraine, but somehow it's worse if Ukraine defends itself by striking Russian targets behind the front lines inside Ukraine. Now, the corollary to the president's tweet today is if it's critical for a country defending its freedom and independence and territorial integrity to strike in the country of the invader, that will provide weapons systems more quickly and in greater quantity. So I hope that's on the Pentagon's list of things to do as well.
Extraordinary shuttle diplomacy this past week in Alaska with Putin, at the White House with Zelensky and European leaders, and yet Trump doesn't have really anything to show for it now. Do you get the sense that Trump is starting to feel like Putin is taking him for a ride?
Well, this has happened before. After 6 months in office and there with no progress toward a ceasefire or any kind of substantive resolution of the Russian invasion, I think Trump did think that Putin had pierced the envelope of what he considered the limits of their friendship to be, and he threatened sanctions and took a number of steps that quite likely convinced Putin that he was in enough trouble he had to try and meet with Trump and roll him back in, which I think he did in Alaska. But frankly, the confusion over the past 2.5 weeks in substantial part is due to the administration itself not being able to say consistently what has been discussed and what has been decided, whether it's on the issue of land swaps or security guarantees. And that confusion continues to this day, and I think that's a contributing factor. Of course, the Russians want to slow roll this. They're hoping the whole thing will go away, as they successfully slow rolled Trump's efforts during the first 6 months.